Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Burdick, the Reading Coach. Welcome to the 5th grade reading strategy video on main idea and details, as well as summary writing. Now, this is a strategy that will benefit all grade students. And it's a strategy that can be used immediately while you work with your student at home. So let's join Mrs. Quinn, one of our 5th grade teachers, as she shares with us a quick lesson on main idea and details and how to write a good summary. Happy reading, everyone.
Hello, Pad Peeps. Welcome to the 5th grade building. I'm Mrs. Quinn. The strategy I'm going to be showing you tonight is main idea and details. Now, I've already pulled up our learning target and success criteria for 5th grade. It's not as easy as just finding the main idea and details. You'll find as you move along in the grade levels, each grade level builds on top of the other one. I also like to put it as instead of building on top, we dig deeper and deeper and deeper into the story. So with main idea and detail, that's not any different. What we learn in 5th grade is first that we can determine 2 or more main ideas of a text. So we learn both in writing and in reading that there is a controlling idea, which is basically the main idea of the entire passage, but then there are smaller main ideas throughout, and we'll get into that in just a moment. The next part of main idea and details is the details. We have to explain how is that detail supporting the main idea. It's extremely important. Details are not just pieces of information. They are supposed to support the main idea. This is also where we see that reading and writing go hand in hand. They're best friends and you cannot separate them. Because when we are writing, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, you can tell your parents as well, when we're writing, we have to support our ideas. And that is what the key details are doing. And for 5th grade, we not only have to find the key details, but then we have to explain how does that support the main idea. The last part of our success criteria and learning target is to summarize the text. And a lot of people think they know what they're doing when they're summarizing the text, but what they're really doing is retelling. There is a difference between retelling and summarizing, and I'll also get to that in just a moment. I chose a passage for 5th grade that is not real long. In fact, it's quite short. This one only has one main idea, but it'll help us get the point across. Our title here is Sea Turtles in Danger. With their massive size, it's hard to believe that sea turtles face many threats living in the wild. Unfortunately, many of the dangers to sea turtles come directly from humans. They can be injured from boat propellers, can be caught in fishing nets, or can suffer the effects of water pollution. Even though it's illegal, some people even hunt sea turtles for their meat. Aside from human dangers, tiny, newly hatched sea turtles moving from their nests on the beach and out to sea are at risk of being hunted by other animals. Okay, so the main idea of this passage, I'll tell you right now, a lot of students are thinking it. They think the main idea is sea turtles. If you thought that, you're getting on the right track, but you don't quite have the main idea. What you have is the topic. The topic is like an umbrella. It tells us generally what is this story going to be about. Main idea is what exactly is this story going to be about. If we had a passage where sea turtles was the main idea, we would probably have more information about their lives, about their life cycle, about how they live, where they live. We would have a lot more information about the sea turtle itself. But this passage does not have that information. In fact, this passage has something completely different. So if we're looking at main idea, a better main idea would be there are many threats to wild sea turtles. Most of this passage is about the threats to the wild sea turtles. That's why it's the main idea. One of the key things that parents can do, and students, you can do this as well, is to focus on the title. The title here says, Sea Turtles in Danger. That's basically the main idea right there in the title. So it doesn't matter if you are reading a chapter book like The Lemonade Crime that our entire school is reading, or if you're reading informational text like this one about sea turtles. Make sure you're looking at the titles, because that will tell you a good idea of what the main idea of the story is. So let's move on to the supporting details. Remember, the supporting details are key details. There's a lot of information in here. The supporting details are that there are propeller injuries, that the sea turtles are caught in fishing nets, that they suffer the effects of water pollution, that they are hunted for their meat, and that the sea turtles are even hunted by other animals. Each one of these details explains the threat to wild sea turtles, and that is what we need to focus on when we are looking at key details. Finally, the last part is summarizing. Retelling is what I mentioned a lot of students like to do first. And retelling is when you use the details of the story, all of them, in order, and sometimes you even use the words of the author. But summarizing is where you show that you understand the passage. So a summary includes the main idea and it includes the details, but they are in your own words. They don't have to be in order, and it is more about explaining. So let's look at a good summary for Sea Turtles in Danger. Sea Turtles in Danger has a good summary as there are many threats to wild sea turtles. They face dangers from boats, fishing nets, hunting, and even pollution. Notice how the summary includes our main idea and most of our details. That is what we're looking for in a good summary. It's not a retelling, it's a summary. Retelling has its place. There's nothing wrong with retelling, but when we are asking you to summarize, we are asking you to tell us what you know. I want to show you a passage that we have in our 5th grade textbook. This is called Power from Nature. You can see it's fairly long, but it has multiple main ideas. For instance, if I look at the title here, it says Power from Nature. So I can conclude that our main idea for the entire passage, which is then called a controlling idea, is that the power that we use to power our electricity or to cook our food at night comes from nature. So now there are other main ideas that support that. If you look at this subtitle, it says renewable and non-renewable energy. So that means that the passage's main idea is that in nature, there are 2 types of energy, renewable and non-renewable energy. And if you look more into this passage, you can find the key details about renewable and non-renewable energy. The same is true if you continue. There are 2 more subtitles. That means there are at least 2 more main ideas in this passage. So in 5th grade, we look at not just one main idea. We look at a controlling idea, we look at a main idea, we look at the key details, and then we learn to summarize. So how can K1 and 2 do the same thing we're doing in 3, 4, and 5? It starts out very simply. Read the story and have your children see that the title is what the story is mostly about. Then you can do things like read a story, but cover up the title and have the students come up with a title and see if that's the main idea. So all of this will help so that when they get to 5th grade, they can be our 5th grade super smart geniuses and fit right in this hallway. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I hope you enjoyed this reading strategy.